Well, hello, my fellow Reds out there. Hello. On a absolutely morbid day, if you are a Liverpool fan, we watched our team drop four straight games. It says four straight games in the Premier League. I understand it's not five straight games overall, but it is still four straight games in the Premier League. Appreciate people joining me today. Big up Trap Joe. Big up to Lee. Big up to Lee WizKid as well. I'm gonna make sure I didn't get the link out to my brethren in in our WhatsApp, so I'm gonna drop them a link right now to see if anyone is up. And hold on 1 second. Let me make sure I just get this all correct, because that way maybe it's just not me talking by myself, But I do have a lot to say. It took me a little while because I was definitely making sure that I properly exercise my restraints, to kind of like not. I don't know if anyone's watched the movie Half Baked. I love that movie Half Baked, but I'm not going to wild out as he says out in the movie Half Baked. I'm not going to wild out. I know that everyone expects us to wild out, but that's not what we're going to do here. We're going to try to do our best to try to keep some type of reserved, sensible, and very, very clear-minded approach towards vocalizing our concerns, our frustrations, our even anger, and some of our even silver linings, I guess you could say. There are some positives in this and everything else. Let me see. Let's see. Trap Joe is saying, we were way off with our past two streams. The system has been broken and Slot cannot figure what the heck is going on or what the heck he's doing. I don't know if I've been off in saying the past two streams. I'll address that real quick. At least in my perspective, Joe, what I've been saying is that I've been asking this coach to do a 4-4-2. I've been asking this coach to do a 4-4-2 diamond, if you want to get even more specific. I've been open to this coach having a system that can present a 4-2-3-1 against certain opposition. Also have that 4-2-4 or 4-4-2, that I mentioned earlier, be able to morph into a 4-2-4 in certain games, or at least as a way to hold on to possession and create some type of presence. But yes. But okay. I just put the link in there. I just saw, and I know that JK can't join us because he has visitors. So I hope they get your mind and your attention and your frustrations going on against it, from what has happened today, because it's tough. Let's be honest, it's tough, and I'm going to break it down. So a lot of stuff that I saw that happened today, and there's a lot of stuff that I would love to like vocalize and hear your opinions on. I mean, this is a forum that we all are respectful of each other and everything else. So it's really, really good to see that we can speak and talk together. So it is what it is. And also here, I just saw JP jump into let me see if I can get this. 1 second, JP. I'm going to send you a link on Twitter, JP, if you want to join. So, Liverpool were beaten today by Brentford to equal our worst ever Premier League run. Yes, let me repeat that. This is one of our worst Premier League runs ever. Liverpool have officially matched our worst Premier League run by a 3-1 defeat and 4 straight league losses. What's really, really troubling about that? I mean, also, I'm trying to multitask here, by the way, just in case you guys are wondering. I see this. Just in case you're wondering what I'm doing. And what I mean by that is the We're the defending champions, but we look nothing like champions right now. It's not just that we lost; it's how we lost. We absolutely smashed Frankfurt 5-1 in the Champions League in midweek. And you're thinking, okay, maybe this was the moment. Maybe this was the spark. Maybe this is where it turns. Then 5 minutes into this game, we're behind again. We're behind again. We are fragile from the opening whistle once again. Brentford went up 2-0 right before halftime with an absolutely great through ball to Kevin Shade. Kirkez gave us a lifeline, despite the fact that he was seemingly playing on one in that first half. But then a penalty from Thiago in the second half kills it off, which was, I will admit, a very, very dodgy call. Because I'm not going to say that it's supposed to be that there's, without a doubt, you can see this. You can see that this is this, that it's this or that. You know, it's like I forget the words for it right now, but you know what I'm saying. Whereas it has to be unrefutable evidence saying that it is what it is, or the foul was miscalled, or that and that we have that it should have been or that his foot was on the line. It's in the air. We're looking at it from a camera angle that, like, whereas in 3 or 4 different camera angles, you can't make it out to see what exactly where his foot is. And it's like, if you got to go, it's weird. It's super weird. But yet you look at the angles for the Cody Hackbo goal or non-call, excuse me, and we're sitting here going, okay, we're not going to get a call on that one. All right, it's about as subjective as the call that they got, but all the same, that's all well and good. It's all well and good. I don't know. You got to give credit where credit's due. Salah did have a score late. His first Premier League goal since opening day. Let me repeat that. That's Salah's first goal, open play goal since opening day. And even that felt like consolation, not momentum. That felt like, here's your going away gift. You know, here's your parting gift. You know, like your thanks for playing gift. And that's that. Big up, big up. Let me bring in the guys here. JP's in the house. Lee's in the house. Lee, how are you doing?
Okay, mate. Bad enough life with what happened. I was spared seeing it because I thought it was on Sky all week. I thought it was on Sky, and then at 7:58, I went to watch it on Sky. And it was on TNT, so I had to listen
Why
to it
didn't
on
you hit me up?
Radio Merseyside.
You should have hit me up. You should have hit me up. Next time, hit me up like that. Next time, hit me up. JP, how are you? After this, take a breath. I know. Before it's a safe place. It's a safe place.
Thanks for looking out for us. You know, but yeah, just happy, good day today. You know, I graduated from a postgraduate.
Congratulations!
So, yeah, man, thanks. But you know, just trying to get some happiness outside of the real world. You know, and Liverpool just up and down right now. So you know,
yeah, it's weird because let me repeat this: Liverpool are now just the 4th defending Premier League champion ever to lose 4 straight league matches.
Wow.
You can add this version of Liverpool to that list alongside the 2020. It'd be one thing if this was our first time on that list.
Yeah.
We're on that list twice.
Wow.
We're on that list twice.
At least the last time we had an excuse. We had injuries. We had, you know, it was, but I don't know what's going on this time around.
I don't know. And don't get me wrong. Look, the treble-winning Manchester City team is on this as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, and the Leicester side lost 5 straight, actually.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, we have some interesting company with us. But 9 games in the season, and we've already lost as many games as we lost in the entire title-winning campaign. That's not a blip. That's some structural damage. That's some emotional damage. I'm not even going to play the sound bite because I don't want to get too emotional as is. And look, Arne Slot says that losing streak, he said this before at least. He said, this losing streak shouldn't matter. That's what he said before during when we were, I think it was second or third game into the losing streak. That was his quote. This losing streak shouldn't matter. He says it shouldn't affect the next game. I respect the mentality soundbite because that's trying to say, you lose, you shake it off, you stand up, and you move forward. I get that. I also live in reality. The reality is it matters because the performances are getting worse and the table doesn't lie. We are now 6 places down. We're 4 points off the top. And if Arsenal do their job tomorrow, it could be 7. And forget the math. You can see it in the eyes of the players, in my opinion. You can see it in their body language. They can feel that they don't even know what the answer is. They look like they're starting to doubt the plan. I'm going to ask the panel this. At what point does this stop being a bad run of form and start being, this is the version of Liverpool under this manager? This is what the version of Liverpool is going to look like under this manager.
Well, as I said in my message in the chat, like he's lost the players. Because this is what we're going to expect going forward from now on. I don't think he has the let me say the ego. I don't want to say the next word, the ego to make players play on merit and be fair to the players. All right. And you seeing it in certain players' performances. I mean, Salah scored a goal today, but there's no way Salah was supposed to play 90 minutes today. All right. And that goal came from Brentford mistake, albeit he took his goal well.
Oh, that's a phenomenal goal.
Yeah, phenomenal goal. Yeah.
The goal was a phenomenal, and it was on his weak foot too.
Great class, right? But however, as I said, when you because that Salah playing 90 minutes was all for the reaction of the Frankfurt behavior. So you're trying to please Salah so that he's not angry. However, yes, when you do things like that, you sacrifice the team and you sacrifice the bigger mission, which is the team to doing well, right? Yeah. And I saw it with the I'll try. If anybody could just watch the Man U game again, when you saw the clip of Wirtz and Frimpong on the bench and they talking, it was like if you could have be a fly next to them listening, it's like they're saying, but we won championships in Germany and we benching for this team, right? Yeah. At Anfield. And it's like when you have pockets of conversations, remember Salah will be talking to Van Dijk in our next pocket. Why he benching me, boy? Was I supposed to be starting, Then you have a next pocket like Curtis Jones. How McAllister playing bad and I not getting any games. So when you have these pockets of players all in the dressing room having different conversations, you saw it today, no fight with the players at all, right? No fight, absolutely. And when you see a team performing like that and have no fight for the manager, then is usually writing on the wall for the manager, because you and I, we watch Liverpool a lot on the clock. Sure. And those guys was giving their all to the end because they're fighting for the manager. All right. Yeah. But I think this is a continuation of performances going to happen like this, because I do think the manager has what it takes to play the players on merit, and he's just trying to make everyone happy. And when you try to make everyone happy, most of them would be unhappy because of the type of egos we have on the squad now. Yeah.
Yeah. Pops has got a question for you, JP. He's asking, were you on the bench? I guess he's trying to give you a slight little slide.
No, it was like, no, it was no Pops. I like Pops. No, because you see it on the faces. Like even if they're not talking that conversation, it's like you could see it in his head. Remember, Wirtz has never benched a game probably in his career like that. Like he's Germany's wonder kid. He starts all his games for Leverkusen. And in all 3 games, big games for Liverpool this season, apart from the Arsenal game, that was Everton at home, Man U at home, and Chelsea away. Wirtz was on the bench. So a player like Wirtz will be saying in his mind, yo, I can understand the away at Stamford Bridge, but in Anfield against this poor Man U team, come on, what going on? Right? So, yeah.
Segments, I would say, were a part of what we saw today. But this has got to be concerning because champions are in a warring dip. Superstars are struggling, and Slot's message is falling flat, it seems like. I'm going to frame this as best as possible. And with all honesty, this isn't just about one bad week. This has been cooking, I guess, if this has been brewing for quite some time now. Again, what JP just said, I agree with completely. I agree that there are parts about what this coach is doing with his man management, which is absolutely abysmal. It just is. Because you give a coach credit when he gets it right, and you have to say, and you have to call him accountable when he gets it wrong. And you have to say that some of the decisions you've seen this coach make look like a coach that's kind of scrambling to figure out something that kind of sticks, as opposed to having a plan and sticking with it. That's what I see, at least. We started strong under this manager, and I'm not saying this isn't some like let's just blame everything on the manager, but we were grinding out wins. We were sitting top, but even then, we were still saying on this channel, is it sustainable? Is it convincing enough? And now we're here, 4 straight losses in the league. Second place turns into 6th place in a matter of 1 game. Arsenal City move in front of us. The fact that Manchester United has moved in front of us on the table should be a wakening call for everyone, because that gap in quality, in aura, in control is exposed. You know what? Sad about it. As they say, I'm saying it nicely. It looks like he's clueless. I would say this: 9 matches without a clean sheet, and I'm not saying our coach is clueless. But what I am saying is if you can come out in press conferences and correctly say the things that a lot of us have been saying this entire time, making the emphasis on the long, what's the emphasis on the long balls? If teams are using it against us, why can't we use it against them? The corners, why can't we be more constructive with our corners? Defending and being offensive on our corners. If those things are things that we're saying out loud, and things that the coach is going to come out and say, yes, the reason why we lost, against Chelsea is because a couple of players were cheating and they were trying to go on offense, trying to do a counter before we even got the ball back. And the sad thing about it is, he said it the last or 2 games before that, he said the same excuse. If these things are things that you're going to say out loud, because our coach is, and this is, again, I'm not saying he's clueless at all. What I am saying is he's honest. And that's why the assessments that some people make can be accurate. Because he's going to tell you like it is. He's going to tell you like it is. And that's exactly what he's done. I mean, these things are things that we're seeing. And trying to get these players into the form and shape that we want them, again, is something that I've been saying time and time again. And Lee knows it. Lee can back me up on it. We've been talking. Like, how many times have I said Robbo needs to be starting? Not because Kirkes is bad, not because Kirkes is like some bad player, but Kirkes has to be implemented into a system that's different than the one he just came from. The badge weighs differently on this team than the one he just left. And he looks sometimes completely out of place. He looks confused. He looks as if he is scared in essence.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that will come, and he'll get over it. I have faith in he'll get over it. He's a talent. But I also know that I have a vice captain on the bench that's been through the storm.
Yeah.
And I know that he has the confidence of his brothers, his teammates next to him.
Yeah.
So when I'm saying this coach is not clueless, I'm not saying this coach is clueless, Pops, at all. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is this coach has plenty of clues lying right in front of him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if he's not going to act on those clues and follow through with delivering on them, then
we have a problem.
And we have a problem.
Yeah.
We have a serious problem. Lee, you want to throw in some 2 cents worth?
Yeah, no, it's we're in a really bad place, aren't we now? The upcoming fixtures, Man City away, Real Madrid at home, and Man City away. We're going to have to try and get a win out the Villa game, aren't we? I don't know what we're going to do for Crystal Palace because he can't afford to lose the Palace game now, really. Some of us were thinking, should we rest players for Palace, for more important games, but I don't think we can now, can we?
Mm-hmm.
He's probably going to have to play like his best 11.
You have to play a strong squad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to play. You can't play. You can't go and say, okay, I'm going to bring, I'm going to start Trey Neone, or I'm going to bring in all this, which we should be able to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But because now that we're in a moment of crisis, we can't.
Yeah.
But it's still, because remember you have Aston Villa, then Real Madrid. So
Absolutely.
So players can't play 4 games in the space of those.
Yeah.
So there will be changes. You because you will need a Szoboszlai has to get a rest, right? Van Dijk has to get a rest, right? Because remember we have Aston Villa on the weekend and into Real Madrid, then into City, right? So where the players going to get a rest in this crisis?
Yeah.
So you have to rest players for the Crystal Palace game.
But that's also because I'll let Lee chime in too. But I also think that's because this coach, look, there's things about this season that he had to navigate better. We had obviously the record signing of Alexander Isak, £125 million, 1 goal, 1 assist, and 7 appearances. He didn't even arrive fit because of the Newcastle situation. We get that. He missed preseason. He's miles off rhythm, and now he's injured or working his way back from a groin injury that we already knew he already had. He's supposed to be the stalemate striker that evolves us. Right now he's a debate. He's a particle of a debate. He's fodder for being money misspent. And that's what all last year I got mad pushback from friends too. That's the worst part about it. Like Cal and Matt and from Kopish and sometimes even some of the guys at Bayesian Reds, when I would say these things about it, it wasn't all about just trying to defend Darwin Nunez. It was more about the fact that this system doesn't suit what we naturally believe it should be generating.
Yeah.
Because Florian Wirtz, to me, you can see the talent. You can see the ideas. You can see the weight of expectation that's crushing him at the same time, though.
And that's what I've seen.
That's the struggle. That's the real struggle for me. He's still trying to adapt to a league that wants to physically test him. I understand that. First and talk football second. We all understand that. But he's trying to do that while being used inside slots 4-2-3-1, where he's expected to be the conductor or connector and the output at the same time. Yet he's not getting players that are connecting on finishing. He's creating chances.
Yeah.
Hugo Ekitike started red hot, goals in 5 straight league matches, then gets pushed down in the pecking order just so we can start Isak. Yeah. That's a coaching decision. Mm-hmm. You're chancing losing this player's rhythm. Mm-hmm. He finally he's so wrapped up in his own self thinking like, oh, you're going to recognize me, taking his shirt off and getting the second yellow, because he wants you to know he's here to play.
Yeah.
And has a momentary lapse of actual, like, a brain fart, whatever you want to call it, right? And now all of a sudden we're scrambling to go back to the forward that's shouldn't be starting, but in his mind he knows is going to start regardless.
Yeah.
And then last, I'll let everyone else chime in because I have a bunch to say in this episode. So
no, you had to let talk.
It's after midnight, man. So let's just let it go. Oh man. Right. Pumpkin, Cinderella's pumpkin, or card has come back to being a pumpkin. So let's just have it, right? Set pieces. Even before I get into set pieces, we had an attack that doesn't look like it knows who it's built around. Is it built around? We all talked about, we're gonna get this striker, and yet I kept saying our output comes from our wingers. We had over 40 goals from close to 50 goals from our wingers last year. Close to 50 goals, if not more, from our wingers. We definitely have more from our wingers, because I'm just talking about from Diaz and from Cody and from Salah put together. We had about 50. And now we're all focused on the center because the goals from the outside have dried up for the most part, other than Cody. A midfield that still doesn't have a presence, doesn't have enough of a presence to demand and put a definition on a game. A back line that looks allergic to basic defending, especially on set pieces. And that's where I was going to get to before I let the chat get in, or excuse me, the panel get in. The set pieces, let's talk about that. We used to bully people on both ends of the set pieces because we have two of the best players for aerial duels in the league. That was a Liverpool advantage. Now it's a Liverpool vulnerability. Every long throw, every second ball, every recycled cross looks like a crisis. I'm like sitting there going, "Oh, they got a corner," and I'm on pins and needles, thinking like, "What's going to happen?" And yet, after all of this, Slot stands there and says, "It should not matter if we win or lose a game of football for the next one. If you wear this shirt, the aim is to win every game, whether you've won 7 in a row or lost 4 in a row. It's the same aim." I hear the message. I hear it. I get the mentality. All that, yes. But I also watch the games. The pitch is telling me it's not the same message, or that message is being heard. The pitch is telling me the confidence is leaking out of the squad in real time. And even the little things are chaotic. The travel to Frankfurt gets delayed. The plane has a technical issue. He doesn't get to do media. It's 4 hours late. We got referees getting injured in this game. It's like, what is going on? Slot is standing there saying no excuses. There's no excuses. That's not an excuse. That's not an issue. And you almost appreciate that, man. But at some point, it stops sounding like accountability and it starts sounding like denial. I'll open up to the panel and ask them this question: is Slot protecting the players, or is Slot protecting the idea of slot ball, even as the squad clearly isn't executing what he wants? I'll ask that to Lee first, and I'll ask that to JP.
Yeah, it's shown his limitations the last few games. He's not been able to dig himself out of this hole. I thought maybe the Frankfurt result might have seen us turn a corner, but the fact that we weren't able to after winning handsomely in Frankfurt is a real cause for concern. The fact that we weren't able to arrest our league slump. We're gonna have to beat Aston Villa for sure. Try and beat Palace and Aston Villa to get our season back on track.
Yeah,
but it might be one of them where the title is beyond us, beyond defending. But we might be playing well enough by the knockout stages of the Champions League to have to go in that.
Mm-hmm. No, don't get me wrong, Lee. I've said that I've gotten on other panels. I've said on other episodes too. Look, my arc, I think with the way I was watching this team respond, my arc with this team has always been, or at least the arc that I'm envisioning this team could be, is the same arc that PSG went on. I'm hoping we can do something. We can find the same semblance of bringing these talented players together enough to finally get it, whether it's under the direction of this coach or whether it's just them saying, you know what, bun this. We need to do this. Mm-hmm. What do you think, JP?
Yeah, Lee said it there too. It's it's kind of difficult to say the league beyond you because of the Arsenal is under enormous pressure and City's rebuilding, right? So a 7-point gap, if we get things together, to me, in my opinion, is easy to claw back if we get our act together, right? But the way how things going now, I'm realistic in the league that you're going to drop more points. You're not going to go perfect in a league. It's consistency with a league, right? Mm-hmm. So I kind of hoping that we could get our act together in the Champions League. And we have the quality of players to do damage, especially in Anfield, when the crowd on the special Anfield nights. Players like Isaac, Foots, Salah, Szoboszlai. So on the Anfield nights, we have enough quality to do damage in Anfield. So if we could set up somehow defensively, like how we set up defensively and put on a masterclass, well, not really a master, but a defensive performance in PSG, how we set up against Man City away from home in the league last time. If we could do that away from home and then we come back into Anfield and put a performance in and us seeing why we can't go deep in a Champions League run. However, it's just alarming to get that PSG arc. We need to bring in some fresh new ideas in January, because if you remember, PSG brought in Kvaratskhelia in January, and it kind of helped with the explosive front three that they had. So if we could get like a Guéhi type signing, a Schlotterbeck to help the defense, and you probably get some menu. All right, maybe we could get some fresh ideas in going forward, and we still have the likes of Isaac to come off of injury and firing, probably to play a 4-4-2 with Etatike and Wirtz in behind. So we have enough there to do damage in the Champions League, but right now it's not looking likely because we don't know what's going on in the dressing room and what's going on with the manager.
Yeah. That's the big question. That's the big question. I had broken down. It took me. The reason why this episode's so late is because I had broken down the game pretty much. I broke down what happened in the first half was because I'd taken notes and stuff while I was watching this game, and then I don't even know if I want to go over it. That's how sad it is. I'm looking at the notes I wrote for what went down in the first half, and I'm like, oh, I even want to talk about this because I mean the Kirkes goal, big up for him scoring his first goal for us and everything, but I mean it was a scrappy goal. Let's just be honest, you know. And it is what it is, you know. We're gonna mark that too. I see the catch up. I see you. We're gonna mark that. It's an Arsenal channel, so we get you. They're probably feeling all types of like on cloud nine right now, but you know, it is what it is. Geez, I don't even know. Like, I might just skip this. I just might just skip the whole like the questions or the breakdown of it all. I want to talk about winners and losers because that's how sad. That's how upset I am and frustrated I am because I don't even want to rekindle what happened. But winners, if I'm using winners loosely, and I say winners stand up and losers sit down. Basically, that's my concept. I'm trying to do my little hip hop version of it, at least, you know. The big winners are the fans of Arsenal, the catch-up guys, and all them. Like, you know, they're the winners right now. Arsenal, Manchester City, even Manchester United are big winners right now. That's the most frustrating part about all this. Arne Slot is wrapping this league in shiny paper and putting it under a tree for these guys. Arsenal could be 7 points clear by Sunday. City, who smelled blood last season when anybody blinked, are absolutely loving every moment that they're seeing. They're sitting in the shadows, just chilling. Just chilling. They got most of their team have their feet up on the couch while Erling Haaland drags them to the top of the league. And that's the thing. Manchester United stepped over us in the table. That should sting every single person connected to Liverpool Football Club. I also want to point out this because this was something I heard on Ensman TV or Ensman show. Couple of the guys on their panel were talking about this. Every minute Ryan Gravenberch isn't on that pitch, you feel it, I think.
Yeah.
I do. Tonight's midfield without him was timid, passive, soft in the duels. For anyone who said, and that's why I'm pointing it out about the panel that I heard yet last night, because I watched their entire show. I listened to so many different YouTube. I watched probably too much YouTube. But but they were talking, they were trying to make it an issue about, do we really even need Gravenberch in the midfield?
No, but remember, we spoke about that on your last show, and that's why I was worried because yes, we got away with Gravenberch not being there with Szoboszlai and Jones in the pivot. But why did we get away with it is because Salah was on the bench and we had a side that could press. Now that you don't have your best DM, right, in the midfield, and then you add Salah to that, you are going to be open. And that was my worry. So if you don't have Gravenberch, you keep the same side you played in Frankfurt, right? You keep the same side. You played Robbo. He's good, solid defensively. You keep the pivot with Jones and Szoboszlai, and you start Chiesa to give you that press so that for the first 20 minutes, we don't concede. And then we have a platform now to go and get something from the Brentford game. All right. But because you didn't, you do have Gravenberch, you said, all right, okay, no, these two guys. And it happened. So I was very frightened going into, because I knew he was going to come back to this no Gravenberch, but you're still going to play Salah. And that's why I was asking you all how long Gravenberch was out for. Because I was fearful for this game, because once Salah comes back into the team, we literally playing with 10 men, right? Because he's not going to press, and running back is not really in the legs anymore. So,
no, it's spot on analysis, and that's the reason why, people are saying about Salah, and well, this means you shouldn't play Salah because you guys played so well against Frankfurt. I'm like, yeah, we played so well, but we didn't also have Gravenberch in that game. But it doesn't mean that we don't need Gravenberch. Gravenberch would enhance the quality on the pitch, I believe, if he was a part of that 11. And that's the difference. Like, I'm saying this, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. Marmardashvili, Wirtz, Salah, Van Dijk, the spine of our team all had worrying moments in this game. Our keeper looked rattled with his feet at times. Our captain, unfortunately, gave away a pretty, let's call it for what it is, a brainless penalty. That was a silly penalty. Okay. Your star winger looks like he's forcing it rather than letting it just naturally happen. Our new creator is not sure what the shape wants to be around him. There's not one weak link. That's the problem. It's not one weak link. I'm talking about multiple players. I'm talking about multiple structural situations that we have to figure out. And I'm not saying there's any joy at all, because I'm not Slot out. Slot right now looks like a coach who's out of answers, and worse, out of conviction. He finally did some of the structural tweaks a lot of us were calling for in that Frankfurt game. You know, I've been on the 4-4-2 from the gate, especially with the 4-4-2 diamond from the gate. We saw glimpses of stability. Then he goes straight back to that stuff that wasn't working. I said this last year, and I got so much criticism, and so many people calling, well, he's winning the league, and he's just this and da-da-da. You can't criticize him. You can't say this. You can't say that. You can't, even if it's going to be constructive, you can't say this. I said last year, it was me, it was JK, it was sometimes Delonte. Just like we saw last season after PSG away, then Southampton at Anfield, and then back against PSG in the return leg, we said, he'll fix it. We'll look good. And then, bam, he reverts to the very next match. He reverts to the same thing that lost us the game, nearly lost us the game at PSG in Paris. He reverts right back to that in the very next match against them. It's like self-sabotage dressed up as a loyalty. It's like, what are we doing? You can see it in the subs today. I don't even understand the subs. We had Robbo in for Kirkes. Then we had Chiesa in for Cody. We had McAllister in for Bradley. Then we had Rio in for Jones. And then we bring Gomez in when we're searching for a goal for Wirtz. What the? Explain to me that. Explain to me what is the reasoning and rhyme and reason to that. You take possibly the best player we've had all season in Damis Abasalai, and you move him not closer to the goal. You bring him further away from the goal. You stick him at right back. And then in the 83rd minute, you say, all right, I'm going to take out Florian Wirtz, and I'm going to put Szoboszlai back into the midfield. And now I'm going to bring Gomez in and let him play right back. What are you doing, my guy?
Don't think he knows himself, does he? Right now.
It's mad. It's maddening. Like I said, it's after midnight, so we can all let loose, okay?
I know we really need Gravenberch and for McAllister to be like and somewhere near what he is, for us to get back to run of results. We need them two together on the pitch, like, and playing well. Without them, just looks shit. I mean, it looked shit, didn't it? Like with just Jones and Szoboszlai. He managed it at Frankfurt, but I mean, at least if we win over Palace in the cup, it is beating an English side. You know, it'll be a cup game, but we will be beating an English side because that's what we're having trouble doing. We've lost our last 4 games against English sides. So if we can beat Palace and then beat Villa, I mean, that's the dream scenario. The way we're going, we'd be lucky to get a point out of either one, a point out the Villa one, and then we go to bloody extra time, some shit against Palace in the cup. That's even if we get that far. They're not in the best shape now, are they? They were in better form a few weeks ago, Palace, like Wendy Pieces.
I'm hoping Palace can put it together tomorrow, be honest with you.
Yeah, me too. Begging for it's like
get it back. Give him a quick little.
They played this weekend.
Wednesday.
Exactly. Get a quick little like flash of brilliance, and then go back to right back where you were.
Actually, their games with Arsenal, isn't it? They play Arsenal, don't they?
Absolutely, yeah.
So
let me read you these quotes. This is what our captain and coach had to offer. All right. I don't know if you saw the interviews that they had to say, but this is what they had to offer in their exchanges with the press. They said, "This is Arne Slot's reaction. Liverpool boss spoke at Premier League loss. Skids hitting 4. He said they asked thoughts on the game, and he said another time, quote, another time disappointing result and important performance today as well. Another time conceding in 5 minutes. So yeah, another game without a clean sheet." He was asked about that, and he said conceding 3 goals is far too much if you want to win a game of football. The first one is a set piece. If you can see goals, it's something you might expect. Second goal, counterattack, something that that they are very good at. Not that we defended it well at all. In the second half, a penalty made it hardly impossible to get a result. Thoughts on the penalty? Difficult. The referee gave a free kick. I'm not sure if he would have given a penalty for that, but then the VAR says it's inside, so it's inside the box, so it's overturned for a penalty. I don't think the referee was planning to give a penalty, but then it's turned out to be inside.
That was nonsense. It was outside. That was nonsense. That.
Yeah.
I didn't touch him until he was outside.
Yeah. Mohamed Salah ends his open play goal drought in the Premier League. His answer, always positive that he scores a goal. Good moment for Damas Boslai as well, who won the ball out of the high press. How do you react to this losing run? His quote, "What I have to do is look at what we do wrong and what we do well. Today, I do have a clear idea of what we have to improve." Well, that's promising. That's not been the situation in other games we have lost. It's been something different each time. Today, we didn't do the basics well. That's what that was the main thing that we have to improve looking at this game. Okay. We're now what, in week 8 or is this week 9?
Keep saying it, don't he?
Week eight, and we're talking about doing the basics well. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
So we've identified we're not doing the basics well, but we can't correct that. He keeps saying it, doesn't he?
Yeah. Saying it and doing it are two different things.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring up I'm going to just say these last quotes, and then you guys can just chime in on what your thoughts on hearing these quotes are. Virgil van Dijk's reaction on the losing streak, failing to keep a clean sheet and controversial penalties. So he was asked, "How are you feeling?" Sometimes you got to be. I have a journalist. I have a journalism degree. Even I'm like, dude,
how are you feeling, bro?
Like, don't ask him that question. How are you feeling?
How are you feeling?
Really? Oh man, that's a Brian Westbrook. If anyone knows that segment right there, that is a Brian Westbrook segment on there. But anyway, he was asked that question and he answered, quote, "Disappointed for losing here. Obviously, we knew what the strengths were and what they tried to do. The first goal was something we knew. The second goal, the penalty. Listen, it was just a very disappointing night overall. It's tough to take, but it's reality. It's the reality that we lost today. That's the only thing. We have a next game Wednesday against an opponent that already made our lives difficult this season. We have to turn our mind quickly because they come here trying to give us more pain. That was not a nice evening to have." Thoughts on the penalty? The referee said the ball was on the line, but then he put the spot 2 meters outside the box. so I didn't know what was going on. In the end, obviously he gives it, and that's not great. 9 straight games without a clean sheet. What's wrong? He was asked. It's difficult to say. The fact is that we didn't keep a clean sheet for 9 games. It's easy to blame a particular person, but it's easy to blame a particular person. So I could say Kirkes. No, I'm just joking. He didn't say that. He said it's easy to blame a particular person. That was a total joke, because I don't think it was all on Kirkes, by the way. It's easy to blame a particular person, but it's a collective. He said, we have to all look in the mirror. I'm sure we will get out of this, but we don't get out of it by talking. We'll try to improve. It's not that we're doing nothing in training or behind the scenes, but it's tough at the moment. We need each other. We need support, and that's something I agree with them. We need the people who celebrated with us last season to be with us now even more. I'm very confident we'll get out of this offensively and defensively. I'm going to ask the panel this question, hearing all those quotes from our obviously our leaders on this team, our coach and our captain. Are those quotes from Slot and Van Dijk calming to you, or are they actually more worrying because they sound like men trying to talk a storm into stopping itself instead of changing the weather?
Just got to keep faith that he can actually do it, that he can turn words into actions. It's the easiest thing in the world to say. You've identified what the problems are and you must do better at preventing these problems becoming goals, but we're not able to do that at the moment. Okay. We've got to start doing it soon. Can't let this slide go on forever. I mean, we do have the benefit of 2 home games, but I mean, United was a home game. But it would be nice to get back to Anfield, actually, like after so many away games.
It will be nice, certainly. It will definitely be nice, but can't rely on home games, as you got to go on the road for half the games, half the season's on the road. So you have to figure it out. What are your thoughts about JP? Go ahead, because I have my own reaction. My reaction is going to be a little lengthy. So what are some of your ideas? What are your thoughts, at least, on hearing what the coach and what our captain had to say?
Well, for my captain, I believe him. His quotes are more speaking of a true leader, in this time, because we are all Liverpool fans, we feeling the same thing. Nobody likes to lose. We won a league. We know what is expected of the club. So I feel more calm with my skipper talking rather than the manager right now, because I just, like, game after game, he's showing me that he's not the right guy that probably Liverpool need right now. All right. And it's like listening to him when saying the basics is because with me, I'm very pragmatic. I'm back in Liverpool a while now. So I've seen managers come into my club. So I gone on the days where I can go into Stamford Bridge under Rafael Benitez, go into difficult grounds and keep a clean sheet, right? Because of Rafael Benitez's pragmatic style. And so you're defending well, and then you have a platform to win in Anfield and these kind of stuff. And to get the basics like defending, right? Simple defensive tactics, right, is kind of worrying to me, because I think I said it on the Irishman stream. I think it's not probably in Champions League, but I think Liverpool has a record. You could correct me if I'm wrong, but we have a record where I think it's probably 40 something Premier League games we scored straight. We scored in 40 something straight Premier League games. Right. Yeah. And I am watching that and saying, well, if we can fix the defense and keep a clean sheet, it means that we will have a good chance of winning a game if we keep a clean sheet, because our problem is not scoring goals. So if we reach a point where we have to score 4 goals to win a match, right? Because today we conceded 3, so that means we needed to score 4, right? Or 3 goals or 4 goals to win a match. It could be difficult, and I trust in my captain because he's right in everything that he's saying. We have to get through the difficult times. But my manager saying basic things like defending, that's on you in the training ground. You're supposed to sort out that. Just like you said, 12 man. We 12 games gone, and you and sort out simple basics, yeah. And it looking like it getting worse. There are players who haven't even scored goals in their lifetime, or barely scored goals, finding easy to score in Liverpool. Look at Christensen from Frankfurt. Right?
Yeah, look at Ballon d'Or level against us, man.
Yeah, and I'm saying it's simple. Is like simple maths. If you defend properly, most likely he won't score because he hasn't scored a goal in his life. These are professional footballers. So if you give them an open platform, they can shoot. They're getting paid big money. They are professionals. But if you set up with the basics properly, those guys not going to score. And who more likely to get a goal? Probably Isaac. Who, if both teams play defensive and both teams set up in a good defensive structure, who more likely to score? Etitike or Thiago? I'll put my money on Etitike. Who more likely to get assists? Damsgaard or Wirtz? I'll put my money on Wirtz, right? But if you open up the midfield, if you don't have a structures, these guys, any professional footballer will, and that's why I trust in my captain, but I'm not trusting the manager anymore because, in my humble opinion, I play this sport. I understand how it is. And the basics you're telling me, right? Where we have more high quality players on the pitch everywhere. And you're telling me the basics. So more for Van Dijk, I could feel it, but from a manager, it's slowly. And I basically given him 2 more games, at the end of the month. Right? 2 more games at the end of the month. If you don't, I'm good with you because maybe you can handle the egos and the players and the style of football at Liverpool, but maybe the pressure getting to you. All right. So 2 more games, guys. I'm being honest because I'm not trusting my manager anymore. It's too much. Too much.
Milante, big up. Thanks for joining. Shout out to Anfield Irishman for the raid as well.
Yeah, Milante.
What is in your mind? I don't know if you heard the quotes that I read off from Arne Slot and from our captain, Virgil van Dijk, but I'm sure you've heard the interviews or some aspects of them. How are you feeling about what they had to say and what they had to say? I have a reaction of my own, but I mean, like, what are your thoughts on how they look at moving forward?
First of all, moving to the panel, obviously it's been on the Irishman's channel as well. Just jumping in, big up yourself, 12, JP, big up yourself once again, and big up Lee as well. The slot outers, they're going to be happy tonight. Honestly, trust me. I mean, I get, like I said, and again, it's like, don't listen, like, I get tactics, his decisions, his comments, as we alluded to the press conference, which I'll touch on now. I understand people's feelings. I can't say anything because, it's peak right now. It's getting to that. It's worrying, and things could change in the next couple of weeks. We could go up, or you get to the point where enough is enough if we keep losing like this, which is for any manager. But like I said, broad and clueless. He doesn't know what he's doing. To me, again, that's personal right there, because a fraud is someone who can't do a job properly. They're dumb, they're clueless. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can have unfortunate stuff in management you can't work out, but again, You can't call. And again, these people in other streams get upset when I say, "Where's your badge?" Said, "Oh, you can't have an opinion." I said, "It's not about having an opinion." But again, JP, 12 people don't listen with their ears. Listen to what they said. I've said you want to contest, criticize Slot's tactics, his press conferences, his management of players, who he's picking, no problem. But you want him out, no problem. But when you tell me the guy's a fraud, he's a fraud, he's a clueless manager, then you're getting personal, because at the end of the day, if that's the case, then he won't be managing in professional football.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't have won he wouldn't have won championships at final and league. But there's always haters, there's always people that like to defer to certain aspects. Oh, he's lucky and this and that,
That's
So I know
tactics too.
Yeah, you see that, 12. You know what I mean? I mean, a lot of our fans, they can't look at things at a rational thought. And everyone has emotional, but get way too emotional. Big up Dara by yourself. Always a pleasure to see you, Dara, in the chat. Big up yourself, Dara.
Yeah.
So sorry, I know I was deterring a bit from your question, but back to the press conference. I mean, it's not good, is it? What Slot's saying, really? Oh, Saturday and players and throw-ins. I mean, it's a bit of a disrespect. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, teams will do this. It's up to you to utilize and have the players to step up and do it. You have to combat that. That's not Brentford's fault. It's not Burnley's fault. Teams who are in lower district, they're going to do that. You're meant to counter that. And he's doing what all good managers do, or managers do when things are going wrong for them. They make up excuses. The only thing I can say he was saying, but it was still taking the time to gel with a new number of players, which people are not going to like to hear. But it's true. It's not. It's just true. But he said that's no excuse. That was the only thing I agreed with. All the rest was excuses. But this is shot and this is it. You could take a complete. And what VVD said, it's went over my head, if I'm honest. It really did go over my head, because he was okay-ish again today, but I think age is catching up a bit to him. But right now, it's about performances. I mean, I know they have to do this. They have to take. What about just saying, you know what, on the press, we ain't taking no questions today. That right now, and again, we probably won't know. I hope there was a 90-minute that they didn't leave that dressing room for the next 2 hours or two, because serious questions has to look himself, the Slot, the coaches, and the players, because something is not right. Something is missing, and yeah, man, it's I don't even know what to say. It's just
yeah. Lee, I want to make sure. Did you get everything you wanted to say off too? Because I'm definitely gonna give a reaction.
Yeah, pretty much.
Make sure everyone got it.
It's just distressing, isn't it? Like, because we got the win against Frankfurt, but it turned out to not be the turning point, in the sense that we could win a league game. So, like I said, hopefully, if we can win the Palace game, at least that is beating English opposition at long last, because it's been a while. Then maybe we could get back to that against Villa as well.
Okay.
But it's looking a bit far off at the moment, innit? And the games after that, obviously, Madrid and City, they look troublesome now, to say the least.
I'm gonna say this. I keep telling myself it's still only October. It's still only October. There's been larger gaps between teams, and seeing those teams lose or be surmounted by other teams to win the title. We were healthily ahead in Klopp's last year, I believe it was. We were ahead in December.
Yeah.
And things kind of fell apart when Salah got injured, and we had a couple of different. Trent got injured, and different players, different key parts and points of our team got injured, and all of a sudden we just didn't have enough to sustain the run in that year, and City ended up doing what they do. But It is still October. That we can all agree on. Yes, there are new players being bedded in. And yes, hiccups were always going to be in our future or in the plans. We all understood that was going to happen. All true. But this doesn't look like hiccups anymore. This looks like a system failure or not even. I don't even know what kind of system this is, to be honest with you. Salah had a poor game by his standards, then still scores late with a brilliant finish. Bravo, Salah. But Salah looks still like he is lost. Kirkez gets his first Liverpool goal. Bravo. But first and second half looked pretty much like a confused lad out on the pitch. Namardashvili makes a huge save, then doesn't know which foot to use when kicking the ball. There are little sparks in isolation, but we're past the point where sparks even matter. We need a structure that produces fire on demand, not sparkler settings, not a prayer, not let's hope that Chiesa can come on and win us this game. Oh, hey, let's call on a 17-year-old and hope that he can come out and show us some moments of brilliance. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. Same as I read the body language of some of these players, at least on that pitch, on the sidelines especially, I'm now reading my own belief in this coach. And it's on that same frequency. It's on the same frequency of being low. Not because they're full loss. You can always lose a game. We get that. I'm floored because of the way we're losing games. And the fact that we actually looked like we'd found a way forward, and then this manager abandoned it and went right back to the stuff that got us beat in the first place. We said all summer, all preseason, all early weeks, this squad just needs time to settle, to learn each other, to click, to gel. Cool. Guess what? We're past that point now. We're into patterns. There's nothing about this Brentford performance that suggests it's going to get better on its own. The back line looks chaotic. The changes, chaotic. Szoboszlai, who should be dictating the midfield, ends up at right back again. We yank a left back. We rip apart the middle. The front line offers almost nothing in control phases. It's the same script. And this is the same script that's been happening game after game after game. Same openings. We cannot continue to. I remember so many people getting on Klopp's back because we are going down early and having to pull out performances. Fortunately, had the presence of aura to kind of get these guys to rise up and show and overperform sometimes to get back games that we possibly should have won. But now, same goals conceded, same fixes tried too late, same lack of edge, same slow subs, and then after the same lines about we know what we have to do. If you know what we have to do, then do it. And I want to say this gently but clearly. Slot can ask, what more can I do? And I'll tell you, commit to what works and stop panicking away from it the second it gets difficult. Now, I'm not here to let the players off the hook because this is on them too. We have elite players flat out losing physical duels, fullbacks getting bullied, no dominance in the air at times for these set pieces. Kanate looks like he's going backwards sometimes. Van Dijk is making desperation decisions. Second ball battles. That's what lost us the Manchester United game. We're losing them to teams who used to come to Anfield with fear in their eyes. Now they're looking at it with anticipation. Apart from Dominic Szoboszlai, who was really good in this game, by the way, who I said last season would be one of the most influential players in this team this year. Apart from him, who else on that pitch today looked like they were willing to drag Liverpool through hell and back. Who else looked like they refused to be second best? The problem, if I have to say, it's a short list, people, and that's scary. And I will say this directly. I do not understand some of these in-game decisions. Why on earth you are taking off Florian Wirtz for Joe Gomez when you need a goal, when you need a late goal? That's crazy. That is desperation wrapped in confusion. It's please don't concede again energy when you're already losing. It's not conviction, it's survival mode. And this isn't new. Go back to Chelsea. We were poor against Chelsea. We lost late. There was nothing in the match that screamed, run the same 11 again in the next big game. And yet, what do? Slot says, run it back. He keeps doing this. He'll finally adjust, will finally look stable for 90 minutes. And then instead of building on the version of Liverpool that works, he throws it all away and returns to the version that can't cope with the direct plays, that can't cope with second balls and basic set pieces. And now I have a coach telling me we failed at basics. And for everyone who didn't hear me when we were lifting the trophy, and I was still telling you I had concerns about Slot's in-game stubbornness, now you maybe hear what I'm saying. Because now we're all living it. Let me just repeat this and make sure everyone understands. I am not Slot out. I'm going to back this coach and back these players to figure it the heck out. I'm not throwing the season away in October. I'm not turning on the badge. I'm saying, show me evolution. Show me conviction. Show me commitment. Hell, show me basics.
Yeah, and that's I hear you, tough man, and I'm very simple. It's balance. I know that there are 4 trophies up for grabs every year, and we have over probably 60 something teams in the world fighting for those trophies. So not every team is going to be successful every year. But what we ask as fans is to see fight, passion, a system, so to enjoy. I 12 games, and it's only 1 game out of the season so far. I've relaxed and enjoyed, which was the Frankfurt game, and that was 30. I had to wait 35 minutes in to start to enjoy that game. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I respect Slot. Sorry. I've seen enough games last season to say, well, he's a manager that knows the right things and he knows what to do. But I've also seen some questionable decisions, and I'm starting to see more of the negative side rather than the positive side. And part of the negative side is man management, right? And it worked last season because we only had probably a Chiesa who fighting for the badge anyway, whether the manager pick him or not. But when you have the likes of Wirtz, Frimpong, Isaac coming into your team, Kirkes, these guys are wanting to have that type of respect where if I'm playing well, you keep me on, but if I'm playing bad, you take me off. But just make it fair across the board, right? Because I don't care what anybody tell me, Wirtz was playing better than Salah in that Brentford game. Both of them were poor, I will say, but Wirtz was playing better than Salah, and Wirtz has the legs, right? So let's say we got back into the game 4-3.
Play defense too.
And we need somebody to run back and help us. I would trust Wirtz 22-year-old legs than Salah 33-year-old legs going on 34. And that's where I feel that my manager is getting it wrong right now. And the longer you take to fix that with the types of players you have, you are going to lose the dressing room, right? I have I have played in teams where it's very difficult to get back the team if the manager and if the pockets of the dressing room, like I explained earlier, talking and having conversation. Curtis Jones believes he's supposed to be playing. Frimpong believes he's supposed to be playing. Etitike believes he's supposed to be playing. Foods signed believes he's supposed to be playing. Salah, Van Dijk, all of these guys. And you have to try and build a fair system. And where I am not confident in my manager to get it right is in that aspect. I saw Slot made good tactics. He has good tactics, but if he doesn't be fair across the board, then you're going to lose the dressing room. And that's where I am not confident in him at all. And I need to be confident that you can manage the players and manage them properly and to get your tactics in. So,
yeah. I'm going to, I normally we do our ratings the very next day. Normally I watch games back. I am not watching this game back. Not for right now, at least. I might just to get some tactical ideas as to why we failed in certain areas and this and that. But I'm going to do quick ratings. Just run through these real quick because I'm going to be honest with you. I don't, other than maybe Dominic Szoboszlai, I don't think anyone got over a 6 for me in this game. So I'm going to go through these real quick, get the guys' ideas as to their own ratings as well. If you want, I'll say a little segment or a little piece about the player or give you a little background on why I'm rating them that way. But if the guys want to do so, you can just kind of like pick and choose the players you really want to like comment on. For goal, Mamardashvili made a massive save on Damsgaard, and he couldn't really do much about the goals in terms of pure shot stopping. But with the ball at his feet, he looked shaky. And on Brentford's sec, and having seen Kelleher on the other end of the pitch, knowing what he can do with the ball at the end of his feet, kind of reminded you again, shout out to Ross the Crab, Mr. Don't talk about Kelleher. Well, I'm talking about Kelleher, yeah. And the Brentford second, he basically let Sade just roll it under him, which was, I guess he could have maybe done a little bit more, but he didn't. He's just got to make himself big. He's so big, and sometimes I think he makes himself smaller, but still no for him in the league. That tells its own story about what I was speaking on earlier about the structure and everything. I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. I give him a 5. We'll just go around the horn. Let's make it easy. Just go in the same pattern. Lee, what's your score for Mamardashvili?
Yeah, give him 6.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go 5 as well.
5. Okay. Nulante?
Yeah, agree with your point. Same. I think with the first goal, he could have commanded his box, but he stood in there, and then obviously Brentford scored. But yeah, I will 5 for me.
5. Okay. Given a nod with Frimpong out, energy, yes. Courage to get forward, yes. He even delivered the cross that led to Kirkes's goal, but defensively he looked vulnerable sometimes, like everyone else. Over and over again, we're seeing wide areas exposed. That's again systematic. It's going to be the word of the week or something like that, I guess. Not just individual, unfortunately. I gave Connor Bradley a 5 out of 10 too. What would you have given Connor, Lee?
6.
6. JP?
4.
4.
Yeah.
Going the wrong direction. All right, Nulante?
5.25.
All right.
Good for you, JP.
There you go.
Oh, sorry, I'll 5.
A 5. All right. This individual scored in Europe, looked dominant in Europe. Then here got roasted for pace by Sade. I don't know what he was thinking of. He was in front of him. He was literally in front of him. And then he got passed, and then he gave up. He gave up. He looked flat-footed in what should be his strength area, recovering, defending. I'll say this though, he was still probably our best defender on the day, which isn't saying much because it really tells you how bad the unit was altogether.
Mm-hmm.
I gave Ibu a 4. I was gonna give him a 5, but I gave him a 4 because of you can't be in front of the player and allow for him to not only run around you basically, but then for you to give up. Nah, dude, that's a 4.
Yeah.
See?
3.
3. Okay.
Yeah, 3 for me as well.
3. Wrong direction. All right, Delante.
Yeah, I think people, because I remember I was on Brush and I said, "Oh, Damsgaard ball was a quality ball. It was a good ball, but I agree, good ball. But really and truly, we shouldn't be letting. That's just too easy.
Too easy.
Too easy. So yeah, I agree. 3.
Okay. All right. Look, our captain. He tried to lead. You can see that he was frustrated. I don't know if he has the utmost faith in his back line or his counterparts around surrounding him, as he usually does. But he held the players only meeting after United. He'll feel robbed on the penalty call, I believe, but performance-wise, this is nowhere near the standard that we're used to seeing from our captain. He struggled physically with Thiago, and that shove that gives away the penalty, it was just silly. It was desperation. It was frustration. It was basic. It was just basic. That's not captain calm. That's captain rattled, and I don't like to see that from our captain. I'm going to give Virgil van Dijk if I gave Ibu a 4, I'll give Virgil van Dijk a 4 too. I was going to give him a 5, but I'll give him a 4. Lee?
4.5. 4.5.
4.5, all right.
A 4 as well for me.
4, okay. Nolante?
It's a difficult one, man, because just his movement. I don't know if it's age, etc. But then again, he made little interceptions here and there. Yeah, 4. I'll just do.
I'll tell you what's scary is when your center half, his play up front, his play on the front line is looking better than his play on the back line.
Yeah. I mean, where was he for the second goal? I mean, flip it, but yeah. I think, you know what? Sorry, before you go on, just quickly, again, this is the problem because Slot doesn't trust Joey. I mean, I don't know. We can't afford to. He needs a timeout. He needs a game out, but we can't afford to.
Can't afford it.
That's the problem. He really does need time. He's looking that way, and it was always going to happen at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is the thing. I know that's the thing. I know.
We can't
play
Endo at right center half, and or can't play Gravenberg because he's still working back from injury.
Yeah.
Trust Konate, who we just said wasn't.
Yeah, we can't. Yeah, and Konate is off. This is the problem. Yeah, it's the thing, isn't it? Oh God, what can we do?
All right, the scapegoat FC, as I've coined it, at least. We still got to get that. I got to share with you guys the symbol. I don't have it on this computer, but I'll make sure I'll download my graphic that I made for Scapegoat FC. I think it's been Nolante approved, so it means I can show it. This guy, wild first half for this guy, booked for a clumsy foul, looked nervous defensively, I think personally. He also gives us life with his first Liverpool goal. This is why young players drive you mad. I understand that. Chaos and hope in the same performance. It can be absolutely frustrating, but defensively, still not convincing. Still switching off, still rash with some of his challenges. I'm gonna be nice and give him a 4 only because of the goal. I would have given him a 3, but I'm giving him a 4 because of the goal. And that is Kirkes, obviously. Sorry.
You lost.
Lee?
I'll give him a 4. No. Everyone's in the doghouse tonight. I really one deserves a good mark.
I think for me, and it's a weird one with Cookers because me personally, I I do understand the scapegoating thing because in my opinion, he not playing like badly in terms of bad performances, but it's more of a confidence and a composure thing with me, right? So with the lack of composure and the energetic kind of chip on your shoulder, it kind of dropping his performances and making him look nervous every time he has the ball. So like simple passes you're getting wrong. You're running into tackles where you just need to have a little composure and just send your attacker backwards. Those kind of simple things is what kind of irking me with Kirkers right now because it's a simple fix just to calm yourself, have composure and build your way into the team slowly and surely. And to me, it just looking like he wants to impress and show what he can do and just you just need to keep it simple. So this performance here I would give him a 2 because it's a bad defensive performance and also you're looking too nervous and I'm not expecting that, especially after you won the award for best left back in the Premier League last season, right? So it's just nerves and a little composure I want to see from Kirkes because other than that, a lot of people just keep goating him again and just saying, well, bad left back, why we buy him? But like if he could just tune into that composure and just calm himself a little bit, I think we have a good left back in the future. So, but this performance here is a 2 out of 10 for me.
Okay. Alante?
Oh. JP stole my thunder. I agree with you, JP. He stole everything I said. The only thing I'll just add to that, when he was inverted in the game, he just looked lost. But then when he was more like a natural out and out left back, same with Bradley, he was more better. He was more better. And obviously, 1 or 2 crosses, which he should have done better. He's better than that, but he's more better. He's more effective. But I mean, big up Lady B and Rev. I mean, somehow they said Kirk has had a brilliant game. I don't know how they saw that. How he had a brilliant game. Which is wild take. Big them up, but yeah, he had 1 or 2 clearances. But like you said, JP, he was again just shaky, and it's concerning. But I think Slot needs to do in future games. Let him just be a normal left back. Stop with the inverted stuff. Just let him breathe and be what he was, you know. But I guess with the goal will bump him up. So 4.
Okay. All right. Let's move to the midfield. Look, this player worked, fought, got stuck in trying to slow Brentford's transitions, took a knock and had to come off. When Curtis is the only one showing balance between intensity and composure, I think that's a little bit of a red flag, considering that we should be getting it from everyone on the pitch, especially in that midfield. I unfortunately am going to give Curtis I'm going to give him I want to give him a 6, but I'm going to give him a 5. I'm sorry, Curtis. I gave you 5. But what's your score for Curtis? I'll give him a 6. Why not?
Yeah.
It's one person. One of the only players, other him and Dominic.
I'll give Curtis a 5.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say a 5.5, and that's saying a lot because Curtis Jones is not really my favorite player. I do like him starting, but I appreciate him as a good squad player for Liverpool. He's a scouser. But if Curtis Jones is as you said, their 12th man, my midfielder, who I'm not expecting, the least I'm expecting from to get that kind of composure when they have the likes of McAllister, Wirtz,
Yep.
and the others around the team. And he's doing that. I have to give props where props is due, and that's why I want him to stay in the team as a squad player. But like just the injury, it's sad to see him come off, but like 5.5 for me.
Okay. Monte?
I thought, I think he was the only shining light. I thought he was better than Sobbo, in my opinion. He was the only one that was at least picking the ball, and once or twice lost it driving with the forward with some urgency, wanting to make things happen. He's the only one who's doing that. It's just that the defensive side of things, you can only do so much. Again, that's a long-term issue. So only one for me. Tried some urgency, play the ball, trying to put some urgency into our play at least. So 6 for me.
Mm-hmm. I'll say this other one for last, but I'll say Florian Wirtz. He should have scored, I think. He had the look. He dragged it wide. You can see it. You can see the talent. Look, we've said it a million times, but you can also see the adjustment curve. He drifts, he drops, he shows, but sometimes he looks like a passenger in the intensity phases that we need, rather than like he's kind of taking a second role or second fiddler role rather than being the guy. And then he's the one sacrificed late for Joe Gomez, as we spoke on earlier, which says a lot about where Slot's head is. I'm going to give Florian a 5 out of 10 for me. Okay, just give him a 6. I see you. How about for you, Lee?
I'll give them a 5.
Okay. JP?
Yeah, it's a tough one because and I'm feeling it for Florian. I know what he can give, I know what he can do. But like when I see him every game, I think like is a fair judgment on because I know what he can do. I've seen him play in these type of games before, and it's just he's short of confidence, man, and he's not being held by the manager at all, right? So just for this game, knowing what he could do, and I have to be fair, and I have to say 4.
Okay. Alante?
Yeah, big up KJ in the chat as well. Big up KJ, always each and every time. KJ, big up yourself up. Just echoing on what JP said. Look, Wirtz, it's pretty simple, man. It's worrying. It's getting a bit worrying now. We're getting to the stage we're getting worrying. I mean, no goals, no assists, and again, I'm not a stat man, but it's not even just no goals, no assists. It's the fact that we haven't had a 90-minute performance from him. We've had flashes, and for 100 million, we got to be honest. We give it to other fans. For 100 million, you even giving us a 90-minute performances, and the managers hasn't helped, but he hasn't helped himself at times. There's twice in the first half we had momentum. He had the clear space to feed Mo or to feed Cody, and again he's overhitting the pass. That's not world class. And then the sitter, and for all his pressing and talent. That's what we paid for him to do. And then second half again is just I think confidence is a team thing. It's just not happening for him at the moment. And I don't know, man. I mean he's still gonna get the time, but it's not a good start. So I'll just have to go with a 4.
All right. Let's move away from Florian Wirtz then for this very quick moment. This player, obviously last player in the midfield. Look, I know that Nalante rated Cujo over this player, his performance, but statistically he was incredibly sound. If you really look at his numbers were very good, and I know someone will be like, "Oh, but the eye test." This player did the eye test too, in the sense of he was absolutely working out there. He ran himself into the ground midweek in the Champions League. Today, he ran himself again into the ground, tried to press, tried to create, didn't hide, had to play midfield, had to play right back, then had to play midfield all over again. But he couldn't grab the game by the throat either. He ends up being used everywhere, like I said. He's doing 3 jobs, which means he can't fully excel at any of them, in my personal opinion. So, but I still gave him a 7 out of 10. And I would ask Lee, what was your grade for him?
I give him my highest mark for an outfield player so far, which is 6. That's the best mark I've given so far. Apart from Mamadashvili, he got a 6. Starting to question whether I should have given him a 5, actually. Can't give anyone more than 6 for this game, mate. Not one of them. Not possible.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Lee. Subway's, although even though Subway's the only one who could hold his head up high for this game, yeah, I'll say a 6. That's a fair assessment there. 6.
6 from you. Okay. Nalante. What'd you give Curtis, Nalante?
6.
Okay. So what are you giving Dom then? You giving Dom a 5?
Yeah, I'll give Dom a 5. Yeah.
Wow.
I thought it was a bit. Again, yeah, you said you worked hard, yeah, but pressing a bit, but he just, I don't know, man. He just a little bit below average for me. I thought Curtis had more to him than Subbo, but he wasn't the worst player, of course. It's just him and underneath Curtis that can kind of hold their heads up. But yeah, 5 for me.
Okay. All right. Had an assist, had 2 key passes, was 4 out of 8 for his crosses, 86%, 73 out of 85 for his passing. Was in passing in the opposition half, he was 83%, 53 out of 64. Only 24 out of 29 in our half of the pitch. He was 8 out of 10 for his long balls. Dribbling, he had 119 touches, was only unsuccessful on 1 touch. 2 out of 3 dribbles was successful, was fouled once, lost the ball 19 times, 3 out of 6 for tackles, 1 interception, 4 clearances, 1 block shot, 10 recoveries, and was 9 out of 13 for ground duels, 2 out of 2 for aerial duels, and was drove past twice. All right. Just give him some stats. That's all. Just saying. Ratings are subjective. Ratings are all subjective. So don't worry. The attack. All right, let's just rip this Band-Aid off.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Let's start on the left side. Cody Hakpo was quiet. I would say this isn't drifty from Coppish, but he was drifty in himself, in that it was I don't know what he was doing. You like that little one?
Yeah.
little pun. Came went inside on the right foot a few times and carried some threat, but not enough. I know a lot of people have been pointing out the whole, even the coach has been pointing out the efforts, the connection he has with Kirkes isn't exactly polished just yet. We need a forward to focus, center backs to panic. Brentford's defense looked comfortable around Cody tonight, and that's a problem. I don't like that. I'm going to give Cody a 4 out of 10. Our attack I was pretty rough on. I was pretty harsh. I want definitely not easy. 4 out of 10. Lee.
4. Yeah.
Okay. JP?
Yeah, Cody, sorry, bro. Not because you're on my display pick. Gonna get much love this game, but like 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10.
Oh, okay. Nalante?
Same as JP, 3.
3. Wow. All right. All right, moving over to the middle. Look, this player has been on form. I think, unfortunately for this coach, he hasn't the the reluctance to just give him proper respect and proper due. He figured out a way to play both him and Isak at the same time, and then obviously he couldn't do it today because of the injury. But leads the line normally with Isak, but not now. He was working. He kept showing. Didn't get chances. He could actually finish, though. He got one decent look, deflected wide. Otherwise, he was pretty starved in this game. You cannot judge him fully without service, but you can say he didn't bend the match to his will either. So I'm going to give Hugo a 5 out of 10. What was your rating for Mr. Ekitike, Lee?
I'll give him 4.
Okay. How about
our best attacker on the day? I was seeing some good movement, the energy. Wish Isak was here so that we could have continued the same 2 on top. But I would say a 5 as well.
Okay. Nolante?
He was anonymous for me. It was probably his worst game for us since being in the club, and he's done well. And it happens. I felt that he drifted too much into the 10. We didn't need him there.
Mm-hmm.
He needed to be in the penalty box, but he just didn't really do anything. And yeah, he could say service, but his movement, he's moving in the wrong places. I didn't like that. And then the only thing we had that shot. So yeah, he was poor today too.
All right. 2. Oof. Someone on my list is getting a 2, but Cody wasn't one of them. But all right, cool. This one is brutal for me. I know it's brutal for some others as well. I know some people will probably take this offensively by me saying this, but Salah is one of the greatest players we've ever had, one of the greatest ever in this league.
Yes, sir. Yes,
but right
sir.
now, he looks tense. He looks heavy in his legs. He looks like he slipped in a 1-on-1, 1v1. He last chances. Oh my goodness, there was that one opportunity where he was central. He had it was on his left foot, and he looked like he was trying to apply to be an NFL kicker more so than. Oh my God, that was harsh. Apologies to the upper deck person that caught possibly caught that ball to the face, but yeah, the calm is gone. He still finishes late with elite technique because he's Salah, but it was consolation. I get that because that goal that he did score was pure class. That was really, really well taken. And that's where we are. Most Salah's goals are starting to feel like comfort food instead of match winners, and that's the struggle. So I gave Salah 4. What's your rating, Lee?
3.
Okay. JP?
Because of the goal, I will say a 2. I'm not happy with Salah right now. It's a clear and obvious sign that his legs is going, and it was a real poor performance up until that wonder strike. But I don't want wonder strikes right now. I want victories, right? So I have to say a 2. I can't go higher than that.
Okay. Nolante?
Mighty Mo.
Go easy.
Yeah, that strike, as JP saved him, good strike. That's the only reason he bumped up. Listen, man. Remember last season we talked about this 12, didn't we? About Mo, and as good as he was, there's times he needed to be rested.
Yeah,
he needs to be on the bench. And you remember the backlash I got. Oh, I got a backlash, didn't I? Oh, I got abused. Oh, Mo this, Mo that. And look, now people are jumping on, let's get rid of, Mo, and, needs to be dropped in now. I've been saying this. He needs the game 2, needs to be rested, even in his peak. needs to be a game 1 or 2. But right now, Slot has to earn his money now. He really has to earn his money. I know he signed a new contract and, well deserved in that. But listen, and I always say, it's not Mo Salah FC, it's Liverpool FC. 2K, 400K, 300K, 100K. He's got to say, you know what? You ain't playing well, Mo. You might not like it. That's up to you how you take it. But you need to sit on the bench and let K's or something. We need you to refigurate yourself. And I know the Champions League he did, but that's just Champions League. It wasn't that big a deal. Yes, we needed a win in terms of confidence, but there's a lot of games in the Champions League, to qualify. So it's not that deep. This is a game that my eyes. So, and just the same like JP said, just snatching. There's 2 chances in the second half. He could have used his right foot before he scored the goal, which is a good goal. He didn't, and then he does it when we don't need him, when it's just too late. Yep. And then the first half again, it's just like I said. Mo Salah last season, that through ball from Cody, he reads that, he touches that properly and goal. This season, Mo, it's just and I get his legs are gone, but he still had some movement, and it's just predictable. It's just no point. It really is no point. But anyway, just long-winded. The goal has bumped him up, and he's lucky for that goal because I mean, boy, it'd be a real low, low score. But that goal has kind of saved him a bit. So a free. Yeah, basement. Oh, yeah, exactly. It's still free.
All right. Let's get into these subs and managers real quick. I won't be so wordy with all these ones coming up because our bench looked a little bit void of answers as well. Alexi McAllister came on, moved the ball, kept it clean, didn't flip the match, however. Wasn't a needle mover. I gave him a 5 out of 10. Lee, you want to give a rating on him?
3.
Okay. All right. No mercy. JP.
Yeah,
I was expecting a 3 from Alex.
Lee, I shock as well. I given a higher grade than Lee. Just substitute thing. I wasn't particularly pleased, but not disappointed. Like how he improvement from his other games for sure. Right, but that's why I went with a 4.
Okay. Nolante?
4 for me, for Mac.
Okay. Our Italian stallion, Federico Chiesa, had a couple half moments, but nothing decisive. Still doesn't look fully synced with Slot's patterns. Maybe even more so, he looks like the wild card for us. He looks like he's the wild card. He's the draw 4 for us when we need it. It just so happens that it didn't work out. They had to draw 4 in their own hand too. That's a little Uno shout. I don't know if you guys play Uno or not, but anyway, Chiesa, 5 out of 10 for me. What was your rating for him, Lee?
3.
Okay. Dropping 3s like it's hot.
Yeah, it's tough to give the attackers. It's tough to give the attackers good ratings because
you weren't on that long either.
So I will just give him a 4 as well, just because the fight and the energy and something's looking like it could happen through him, right? But it's very difficult to give the attackers things. So I'll go with 4.
Okay. Nate?
Yeah, didn't get the magic as he said. None of the subs really done much, really, if I'm honest.
This player is the player that I think is one of the reasons why we are not gelling in that back line. Or at least his absence is the reason why. And he was brought on to push higher, to force the width, to give overlap pressure. and you'd be like, you would think that'd be Kirkes because you're bringing on speed and legs and the likes. No, that's Robbo. So not a huge swing either way, to be honest with you, but I gave Robbo a 5 out of 10. Lee,
Give him 4.
give him oh wow, okay. All right.
4.
Robbo getting the love, all right. All right. JP.
Yeah, I give Robbo a 5. I felt more comfortable with Robbo in left back than Kirkhead, so
Okay.
a 5. I agree with that.
Nolante.
Robbo, yeah, all right, not much really. 4.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I love this next player. I'm so over the moon and optimistic about the future with this player, a part of our team. I think he does bring a spark. I think he's just a younger Chiesa in the sense of not in style or presence like that. I meant like as in or his gameplay, but more so in this fact that he is a player that really does. He's always going forward. He always wants to attack. He's doing step overs. He's trying to get involved offensively. This kid is really a breath of fresh air. Brave, fearless, lively. But let's be real. When you're relying on a teenager spark to save the defending champions, that's not development. That's desperation theater, and that's a show I'm not trying to watch. So I still gave Rio a decent grade. I gave him a 6 out of 10. What would you have given the young man, Lee?
4.
Okay.
Like you said, 12 man. If you're looking for a teenager to save you, then it's desperate times, and you saw the desperation in his performances at time trying to force. You saw the youth. He's trying to force. The pressure is on. But I still like the energy, but I'll say 4. I'll say 4.
Okay. Nolante.
Yeah, one of our guys in our group chat, 12, the foreign Irishman, calling at the start. Oh, Rio needs to start. Oh, the one kid. Why don't we start him? And yeah, you see the reason why. 3.
Oof. Wow. All right. Joey G, I am not going to rate you because you came in way too late for an actual rating.
Agreed.
But I am going to rate our coach. I don't enjoy giving the number that I'm going to give. It's not much of a spoiler or a what is M Night Shyamalan M Night. Oh, now I'm gonna go blank on his last name. My apologies. He's from Philadelphia too. Now I feel really bad. But you know how he's like Alfred Hitchcock style. Kind of reveals that he puts. But I'm gonna say this. This is not agenda driven. I'm judging by what I watched. Too many players look stripped of belief. Too many players look confused. Too many adjustments look reactive instead of proactive. The defense is conceding the exact same types of goals week after week after week, and we haven't solved it. That's on the coach, period. Players have to take accountability, but the coach has to put them in positions to achieve and excel, and he's not doing it. 2 out of 10 for Arne Slot. Lee.
1.
All right. I thought I was the bad guy. All right. JP?
Plead the 5th.
Huh?
I hear you, JP. I hear you. You keep that to yourself.
Are you really not going to give him? You're really not going to give him a rating? Come on.
Yeah. 2-1 so far.
It's kind of tough, all right. I'll be generous. It's not his
M. Night
fault.
Shyamalan was his name too, by the way. M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of those films. Yeah. His stories.
I'm gonna go safe. I'll go a 4.
JB showing love. All right, Nolante.
0.
Wow. All right. Don't hold any punches. Okay, so looking at these numbers, I'm going to ask real quick: are we grading a bad night, or are we grading who these players currently are under this manager?
Bad night. Exceptionally bad night. The worst one so far, worse than the others. I mean, the United one was bad, but at least they've got some good players. Like, they spent a shitload on strikers. And they have got other good players, whereas Brentford, do you know what I mean? Just concede 3 against them. Even though I thought their goal was bullshit, that pen was bollocks. But
yeah, I agree, Lee. For me, that was just outside. Yeah, that was just outside. So I don't know how they came to conclusion, and he didn't go checking the monitor properly.
He didn't go look at the monitor too, by the way.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, so I was thinking, I was a bit baffled. Like, yeah, it was a foul. Yeah, he caught him, but he was outside.
I'd like to hear all the refs' opinions on that, like Ref Watch or whatever, when they look back at the decisions from the weekend, what people have got to say, because to me, that weren't a pen. But I mean, it's no excuse, because we just got beat anyway, probably.
No.
It's just like it was a shit decision as far as I'm concerned.
It's not
a wrong decision.
It's just another game that you could say we deserve to lose.
Yeah, pretty much. It's weird.
Because I'm not that bothered by the fact that I'm not going to go over the top with trying to go at the referee for whatever it was.
Yeah.
They want to know who was on the VAR and picked that up. Was it Simon Hooper? Someone was on the VAR. There was a different ref in the first
referee. Yeah, the fourth official had to take over for Simon Hooper, who injured himself in the first half. I mean, it could be apparently there's a lot of controversy about Simon Hooper, because he told them that we're only supposed to have 1 minute of extra time, but yet the Kirkes goal was 5 minutes into extra time. It was in the 50th minute of extra time, or 5th minute of extra time. So for someone to go only 1 minute, but then let play go on for an additional 4 minutes or 5 minutes completely, actually, that was something. I'm sure they're going to have some people being like, "That's he's trying to get Liverpool to let's Liverpool trying to get back," or something stupid. I don't know. All right, we're at the 2-hour mark. I'm going to let each panelist give a conclusion to whatever they want to say. We'll go around. We'll go reverse, or no, just go around the horn. Let's go Lee, then JP, and then Lante. Just kind of give your concluding statement of what you would like to say about this game, or about the state of our team, or whatever you want to speak on. Whatever is the conclusive statement that you want. Sure.
I'd like to say I hope it doesn't get any worse than this. What's that saying? The night is darkest just before the dawn. So let's hope that the sun comes up in it. And it doesn't get any darker for us, because it's bad at the moment, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay.
We need a bit of sunshine, don't we?
Okay. JP?
Yeah, me personally, I'm hoping Slot could sort it out quickly. But with each game now, the negative bar just filling up more. All right, so I'm hoping that he sorts it out quickly, because I as Lee said, it can't get worse than this. From going right now, we have a potential of probably winning our first 5 games and losing the next 5.
Crazy.
Right? Yeah, so that's speaking volume. So yeah, hope he sorts it out.
Okay. Lante, you can take as long as you like to talk as well. This doesn't have to be short and brief or short and sweet. You can make it whatever you like to say. And if you guys want to go back, and now that I said that, I said it a little late, but if you want to say more, you can. Because I know I got a little something to say. Go ahead, Lante. Got you.
Ladies and gentlemen, come on. This best my great displeasure and sorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, it appears we are at the battleships. We're at a crisis. We're at sea. The ship has been hit. I repeat, Mayday, Mayday. The ship has been hit. But the question is, will we fix the ship? Will we return to shore? Will we return safely? Or will the ship go down? And will there be a new management on board there to steer this submarine to the battlefield? Ladies and gentlemen, this question's being asked, of course. How can I say? The manager has been questionized. Yes. Slot outs are celebrating tonight. So-called Liverpool fans, ladies and gentlemen, and dancing in the streets, in the boxes. We've had people today telling me to F off. On a certain other channel. Big up that channel, by the way. Certain people saying they were right. Happy days, happy days, happy days. And ladies and gentlemen, and good people as yourself, the Daras, the KJs, the Red Armchairs, people that we can have good debates. We've got fans now in 2025, and you know who they are. If I name names, you know who they are. They're all forgetting about the football club, but it's about Slot Out FC. They'd rather Liverpool lose the next 4 games than for Slot to be out, than rather us get back to winning ways. But that's fine. That is just some of the weird vibe we pick up. Now, again, and I will repeat, I cannot blame anyone questioning Slot tactics. I cannot blame anyone questioning his mentality. I cannot question anyone. I'm not questioning people that are saying his weird press conferences or they want him out for a change. But the other bit, I will contest. But, sometimes in life, people get things over their head. Listen, you know what? Isak, but and again, and there's a lot. It's got to answer for Van Bronckhorst, the coaches, what tactics, what's going on. But at the same time, players are players. Now, I'm sure all of us has played football. You in the chat, good people in the chat. Whether you played semi-pro, in the park, we all play some kind of football, wherever you play, whatever level. But as the manager has to get things right, the players are intelligent footballers. You don't make it to where you do without having a bit of game intelligence. And I use the word game intelligence. Okay? Kirkers doesn't need to run into Gakpo. I don't think Slot's turning into him. Wirtz doesn't need to run around being deep-blinded playmaker. I don't think Slot is turning into him. It's Ekitike doesn't need to drop as a number 10. He needs to be in the box, and that's not the Slot thing. That's it. You go in again. Cohesion, tactics, and mayhem. So some of these players need to be stand up and counted for. Some of these players have to look into themselves. The Ibus, VVDs, and the experienced ones. And again, we appreciate everything that they've done for the club, but I think you agree, ladies and gentlemen, that sometimes in life, it's like that. It's like that girl that you've been with, and you've been with her, a good 6 to 7 years. I mean, we've all been there, and sometimes it gets dealt. Sometimes just to say, you know what, I appreciate it, but you gotta move on, girl. Gotta move on. Gotta move on. That's what I'm saying. But the reason I'm behaving like this because, like I said, as much as I support the club, As well, and other people, and I'm not gonna questionize how people get emotional and what their reaction and etc. They love the club or whatever. Or who's the day? I was that guy. I was that guy that smashed that PS2 controller at the TV. I was that guy who used to scream at the top of my lungs the Liverpool games, but I take everything in stride. Why? Not because I don't support the team. And again, my family's important. It's just more important than Liverpool. Just being real. My kid's health is doing well. It's more important than Liverpool FC. I'm just being real. Because at the end of the day, as much as I like the club, so I will keep on supporting it. And again, they're not going to pay my bills. They're going to wake me up when I'm in trouble. They're not going to wait. Yeah, they can help you, but they're not going to do that. So take it as you will. We've got the next game. We've got Palace and Villa. So I don't really have much to say. I mean, Slot will do what he do. Big up Bert Jury, free Joe Gomez, free Frederick Chiesa. Big up the Bridgens, them, free Endo. Free Endo. And a lot of people are going to disagree with me. Before 12 will say his point, as 12 has kindly, graciously said however long I can go, but I will not go too long because I won't bore you fine people to death. Let me talk about this Japanese brother. Now, a lot of people say, "Oh, Endo, don't bring Endo. He's slow. Oh, we don't need Endo." But just work with me, ladies and gentlemen. Just work with me, ladies and gentlemen. Who in that squad? Who is the DM? Who is the DM? Please, because anyone answer me. Who is the DM? Who is the DM? That's good. Oh, guess let me ask you, ladies and gentlemen. Guess ding ding ding. Endo. Now I get everyone is not everyone's cup of tea. But at this point in the moment, our midfield is getting bypassed. Now, I'm not saying Endo's the savior. I'm not saying Endo will win us every game. But ladies and gentlemen, let me just ask you the question. Do we want our midfield to be bypassed just because it's, oh, you have to play pretty balls, oh, we could dominate Brentford? Or do we want someone at least that has a defensive bone in the body that can put a tackle in? Yeah, maybe get the odd card here and there. If we're getting attacked, he can put his foot in. Because right now, that's what we need. That is what we need. We saw it tonight, ladies and gentlemen. As good as Jones and Sobosai are on the ball, defensively, they're always going to be bypassed. I'll leave you at that. And that note, ladies and gentlemen, slot machine, slot in, slot out, ball this, ball that, 450 mil, we move. And I don't know. Anyway.
Okay.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I let 12 do the last piece.
There you have it. Okay. Look, I'm going to say the most troubling thing out loud. You know how they say, I'm saying the difficult thing out loud, or I'm saying the hard part out loud. This team. I'm not saying slot out. I'm not saying get out. But I am saying that this team looks like it's in a sunken place. It looks like there are players that look like they are in a sunken place. Let's break it phase by phase. Phase one, you get again, concede early. That kills everything you built in midweek. Whatever momentum you thought you carried from Frankfurt, gone in 5 minutes. Gone in 5 minutes. You're chasing again. Phase two. Normally teams respect Liverpool. I've even heard this coach talk about respecting our opponents. Brentford sits deep. They absorb. They counter. That's how you play a giant. That's how you play the big boys. Brentford didn't treat us like a giant, though. Brentford looked at us and said, "Nah, we'll have a go at this. We'll have the ball. We'll turn you around. We'll attack your end of the pitch and make you panic." The fear factor is evaporating in real time. Phase three. Kirkes scores right before halftime. There's like a single little hope of like, oh, can we pull this? Can we just get to the second half? Can we just get to the second half and make the necessary adjustments and get this win? Every single one of us said the same thing, I think. Okay, here it comes. Second half surge, champions response. But I don't know about you, but that vibe is kind of fleeting right now. That's scary because I've never really ever said that in the last decade with this team. There was no response, no energy shift, no emotional ignition, no anger, no statement. That's silence, the quiet on the pitch after 2-1. That's the part that is rattling. That's when you realize this isn't just form. This is belief in decay. Am I giving up on this team? Let me state this loud. Never. Never, ever will I turn my back on this club. I'll go down with this ship, like Dido, right? Right? I think that's your song, right? I hope I got that reference right. But yeah, I'll go down with the badge before I walk away from it. That's not in question. What is in question is leadership and direction in this moment. To my captain, I say, stand up. You said that you had a players-only meeting. You said it wasn't a crisis meeting. I'm going to suggest that you reassess because my captain, with all love, it's time to call a crisis meeting because this is a crisis. If Arsenal goes 7 points clear and United, oh man, United will fall back to where they need to fall back. I hope I'm not weird, I'm not clipped up and hate to see those words posted as being me being wrong. But when you've matched the worst run in your modern Premier League history, that's a crisis. There was a saying, Boston Celtics way back when had a coach, a legendary, pretty legendary college coach, and Rick Pitino, and he was talking to the Celtics, and he was like, he turns and says, you know what, Larry Bird, Kevin McHale. I hate the Celtics, by the way, but like all those players, those guys, they're not walking through that door. It's on you. Jurgen Klopp is not walking through that door. He's not going to hold your hand and make you feel safe and give you a big hug and say, go out there and get them, guys. This is on you now. This is on the captain. This is on our senior players. This is on our leaders. I know people want to make fun of this leadership group, but I know it exists, and this is the reason why they were assembled. Because they're going to look to you to organize this group and move forward. Because honestly, Arne, and this is on Arne too, right now, we're all looking at who's got a solution for us.
Mm-hmm.
Who right now looks like, I will say, Arne, you look right now like a manager that has players that aren't fully engaged with trusting your direction. And you can see that in their body language. And that's problematic. Because they've never had to really be trusted, never had to be in this position. And this is what makes this is like the diamond from the rough. This is what makes champions. All the little different sayings out there. Here's where I land. You either confront it now, brutally, directly, internally, or we're just going to bleed out for the next month because we got some of the hardest, most difficult games on our fixture list coming up. And again, I'll say this loud and clear. I am not slot out. I am not saying this manager is clueless, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to him in any means of the word. But what I am saying is stand up. Don't sit down. Stand up and really, really represent this badge. Show that it means more. Because I'm not throwing the season away in October. That's not happening. But what I am saying is that we all have to be supportive because we're gonna get all the banter. We're gonna get all the hearing this and hearing that. We're gonna see some of our own fans start to turn and on us, and it's gonna get ugly, and people are gonna start getting disrespectful and maybe even getting disgusting with some of their antics that they take out against us, against this coach, against this team, against the players, and that's not where we want to go with this. But what I am saying is that to the OGs that get it, to the panel that gets it, we've all got to stand up and represent. Because we are Liverpool Football Club, every last one of us. I'm going to end it here, but I am going to be back tomorrow. I'd like to thank this great panel that we got together with our own little crisis meeting or emergency meeting, somewhat emergency viral post-match reaction, dropping zeros on people. I don't think there's ever been a zero dropped. So first for everything. I'm surprised the negative didn't come out tonight, but it's all good. Big up Lee, big up to JP, big up to Milante, big up to the trolls in the chat. You make us stronger. It means that we're doing something right. Appreciate you. Big up to the OGs, especially in the chat. Big up, because I know that you guys will be the lights in a lot of dark corners on the internet. There's plenty of places that are really saturated with some knuckleheads and some people that take it way too far and take it way too personally, and really don't understand that if we are truly "you'll never walk alone," it means just that. Big up your brothers and sisters, and always lift them up. Don't push them down. So big up to you especially. I will be back tomorrow. Like I said, we're not going to do a review. We're just going to move forward from this game, and and we're going to come up with some riveting content for tomorrow. So on that note, I'm going to end it here and say, bless up to those out there. My Reds, keep your heads up. Stand up, my Reds. Always stand up and keep your heads high. And up the Reds, always.